this, man. Simple question after simple question. Let's see. It says if the sum of the, we're just trying to do the questions in the slides. Make sure you know them. Make sure, because we never know where the question is coming from. Okay, we want to be over prepared. Remember that. If the sum of the first n terms of an AP is 4n squared, what is the first term? That is S1. So what is S1? So in other words, this is so easy because let's do it. Solutions. Part A, they say the sum Sn is equal to 4n minus n squared. And then they said, what is the first term? And they say the first term is S1. Do you think they needed to tell you that? The sum of the first term, you're adding what? You're adding only one thing to itself. So you didn't need to be told that. The S1 is also the first term. So if you only know the S, the Sn, the formula for a sum, if they ask you for first term, they are simply asking for S1. Never forget that, okay? So here I would say, all right, S1 is going to be equal to 4 by 1, where there is n, we're putting 1, minus 1 squared. What do we get? 4 by 1 is 4 minus any, whatever power you raise 1 to, it comes back as 1. Power of 1, 3, whatever power you raise it to. Anyway, 4 minus 1 becomes 3, so that means that A is equal to 3. I can say that. Remember, they said it's an AP, so wherever I'm going, I know that I will be using formulas of AP. Remember, it's always about, is it an AP or is it a GP? For the rest of the stuff that you'll be needing to do. All right, so here it says, find the sum of the first two terms. So now they want S2. Remember that we said that for sum, n represents number of terms. So here it's 2 terms. So that means n is 2. So here I would say, I still use this formula. Okay, there's no need to move away from it. I'll still go to part B, and they said find the sum of the first 2 terms. I'll say Sn is equal to 4n minus n squared, where I say now S2 is equal to 4 by 2 minus 2 squared, which is going to be equal to 4 by 2 is 8 minus 2 squared is 4, and 8 minus 4 gives me 4. So this is going to be the sum of the first 2 terms. Now they ask me, what is the second term? So I go to part C. And remember, this is like, it's almost like common sense, okay? Because they said, what is the second term? Here they say the sum of the first term, okay, which is the first term, gives me 3, right? And then the sum of 2 terms gives me 4. So what will be the second term? So I can say that term number 2 is equal to the sum of the first terms, the sum of the, or the sum of 2 terms minus the sum of 1 term. This gives me the second term, okay? This is for if I want the second term, only if I want the second term, right? What will it be? Sum of 2 terms minus the sum of 1, which is minus the first term. So we can even say sum of 2 terms minus the first term, okay? I'm adding 2 terms and I'm removing the first term. So I have, of course, the second term is the only thing that remains. So I would say, what is the sum of 2 terms? It is 4 minus, what is that first term? So I can say T1, which is equal to A, is 3, because they told me that it was the S1. So I can say that T1, I remember we said they don't have to tell you, which is equal to S1, which is equal to A, is your 3. So in here I can say that it is 4 minus 3, and here I'll say 4 minus 3, I'll get 1. So that means my second term in this situation is going to be 1. Okay, this came from the idea that T1 plus T2 gives you the sum of the first 2 terms. So to get the second term, you just take T1 to the other side. You have second sum of 2 terms minus the first term. This gives me the second term. Done, right? It's okay. We'll go to the next one. What does it say now? It says find the 3rd, 10th, and the nth terms. So we can go to part D, which says find the 3rd term, right? It says what? Find the 3rd, the 10th, and the nth terms. How easy can this be? This is way too easy, because we know that if it's an AP, then the common difference is going to be the same. So we can find the common difference. I can say that D is going to be equal to T2 minus T1. This is going to be the common difference, which is going to be how I come from a term to the second to the third and whatever it is. And what do I have now? My DS is going to be equal to... So anyway, we know how to get D. It's always the term ahead minus the term behind. So anyway, we get it. Let's go. Term number 2, what do we have? 1 minus term 1. Term 1 is 3. So anyway, it's 1 minus 3, and this gives me negative 2 as my D. Okay? My D is going to be negative 2. And then now we go. Now, once I have D, how easy can it get? Because what are they asking for? Let me go back. Find the 3rd, 10th, and nth. Really? I mean, really? This is going to be so easy, because once I have my A and I have my D, because I have my A, it's 3, and I have my d, it's negative 2. I can find any term, so I would say, okay, Tn is going to be a plus n minus 1 d, okay? And remember, here they say they want the nth term. If you see here, they want the nth term. So for you, you don't just put a plus n minus 1 d as the nth term and say I've told them the nth term. No, that's ridiculous because you now know a and d, so put them. Come on. So you'd say, okay, here I would say that Tn is going to be equal to, what is my a? My a is going to be, what is it? 3? Yeah, my a is going to be 3. Here it is. So it's going to be 3 plus n minus 1 multiply my d, which is negative 2. And I can say that Tn is going to be 3. Then this minus 2 can come and affect everything here. So it'll be 3 minus 2 multiplying n minus 1. Okay? This is going to be my Tn. Now I can find any term. So I can say the third term, T3 is equal to 3 minus 2 multiplying n is 3. So multiplying minus 2 multiplying 3 minus 1. Okay? Which is going to be T3 is going to be 3 minus 2 multiplying 3 minus 1 is just 2. We can get used to the idea that n minus 1 is just 1 less than the value here. So we don't actually have to say 3 minus 1. It's a little bit scruffier. So T3, this will be minus 2 times 2. Okay, n minus 1 is just 2. 1 minus that one. So I can say that term number 3 is equal to be 3 minus 2 times 2 is 4. So it's 3 minus 4, and I can have my third term as a negative 1. Okay? Then now I can have what? The other thing they want on part D is the 10th term. Come on, 10th term, no problem. So term number 10 is equal to 3 minus 2 by 9. Okay, 3 minus 2 by 9, which is going to be equal to 3 minus 18, which is going to be negative 15. Okay, and then I can put my Tn again to be, what is my Tn? I can say 3 plus n minus 1 by negative 2, okay, times negative 2, or it is more formally written as 3, then minus, okay, 2 multiplying n minus 1. Okay, the whole bracket. And this is my Tn, and I am done. And if you want, you can, it's better to simplify it. If we have numbers like this, we'd love to simplify it. Because remember the nth term, you remember the nth term we used to do in high school? I'm not sure if you remember it. We used to have it very simple, the nth term we used to do in high school. And we should have it something like that. So because we can simplify it, we know the value. So it's going to be Tn is equal to 3 minus 2 by n is minus 2n. Minus 2 by minus 1. When the signs are both negative, your answer is going to be positive. You can multiply in the calculator if you're not sure, because negative values are the downfall of a lot of people. Don't make a mistake here, please. If you're not sure about negative values, just multiply them. So it's minus 2 times minus 1, you get a positive 2. So anyway, you are going to have Tn being equal to, here we group like terms, 3 plus 2 minus 2n, and we have it as Tn is equal to 5 minus 2n. And this is going to be the solution. Or you can even write it as Tn is minus 2n plus 5. Another way. Okay? Right. Now, here is the solution, and you've put your nth term, and we'll say bravo to you. Okay? Goodbye. See you in the next one.